Yo, what is going on, boys? Wanted to go ahead and drop you the game of the year for me. Right now, this was one of the absolute craziest games of my life, and this happens to be in the single elimination tournament of Zero Chill. So this is the MCS tournament. I believe the entire prize pool is for $125,000. Some pretty good money on the line in this tournament. Everybody that you possibly can think of is playing in this thing, and this is my single elim game. Now, I don't know who my opponent is from like a comp standpoint, but I will say this opponent gave me absolute fits from how he played. He's in the tight Y off formation, and he's really just running tight end corner, running some RPOs, and as you can see, he's just not missing a read. Now, the way this game is, and I'm going to spoil it for you, this game comes down to basically the last play of the game. And overall, this is just insane how difficult it is to play defense at this point with this new Anthony Richardson card that dropped. Anthony Richardson is, in my opinion, going to be a fantastic quarterback in real life. Madden dropped his recent blitz card, and he is simply way too fast to have set feet lead. And when you combine the speed and set feet lead, and then God forbid you put gunslinger or anything else out there, and it's just, man, it's tough. It's tough to play defense right now. And you'll see that throughout the course of this game. Me and my opponent both rocking Anthony Richardson. I feel like 99% of the community is going to be rocking Anthony Richardson, assuming you can afford him. Set feet lead is simply way too overpowered to not use. Now, the only downside is he does not have Hot Route Master. So a lot of people are forced to be in offenses that they don't need a lot of routes. For the majority of the comp scene, you're going to see a lot of trips tight end, a lot of bunch offset. Tight Y off, what my opponent is running, is a very good one. My offense is a bit unique, but I don't need really any route chems as well. I use the pistol playbook, which you guys will see just how potent that I can be in that offense. And overall, I mean, it's just going to be a struggle fest getting stops. And the defensive meta right now is these A-gap blitzes. Anthony Richardson can simply outrun the majority of them. Like, it's just, that's as simple as it is. So not only do you have to have perfect coverage, you have to hopefully somehow, some way have a spy or a couple contains out there. Just going to be tough. You see, my opponent went right down the field, very easy. And here we are on offense. Pistol. This is me running pistol bunch tight end. This is the play that I come out in 99% of the time is the halfback zone. I really like the halfback zone and the strong power in terms of the run out of this. And you'll see, like, I'm able to sit here and flip my offensive formation. It gives me a lot of number advantages to the right. And right out way, you see my opponent's actually playing pretty good run defense. And one thing about this scheme in general is I can pretty much run up and down the field against everybody. Like, going into this tournament, that was kind of my plan. I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to play smart. I'm going to keep the chains moving, and we'll be good. Here you see we finally get a good run up to averaging about 10 yards of pop at this point, 3 carries for 32 yards. And I've really just spammed halfback zone. It is that good of a run that you can run it 99% of the time. You see my opponent in all sorts of different 3-3 defenses. I don't know if he's trying to set up the W blitz or if he's just setting up A-gap pressure, similar to what I'm doing. He may just be in zone coverage or man coverage. I don't really know. I mean, I literally haven't passed yet. Here we're going to go to our first passing play. And right away, you can see we have a wide open touchdown over the top on the left-hand side. He pressed from a cover 3, and Tank Dell simply just outran him. So those stock fade routes like you have in Seattle, or four verts, whatever you want to call it. It's called Seattle in my book. And it's just really good. Obviously, a one-play score, 92 speed against 92 speed. He may be rocking some sort of a theme team. I'm not real sure. I didn't check. And I am not rocking a theme team for the tournament. I just simply have basically all the best players that you can have and went to war with that, basically. So right away here, you see I go to the W blitz, and as soon as I go to that blitz, he hits me with more RPOs. So right away, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. If I send the A-gap pressure, then he's just going to try to roll away from it. And I can't contain and keep the rollout. So I'm forced to either try to spy him or put a 0-yard flat over there. And as you can see, he will simply just run the ball. Like, very similar to what I'm doing. He knows the A-gap is coming. Therefore, he is running the ball. It's that good. Now, what he should do, and I'm saying this very loosely because I did not get a single stop in this game. I don't think I got a stop at least. You'll notice he's always running towards my looper. Whereas if he would run the other way, if he would like flip his formation and run to the right, he would have much bigger running lanes. Just something that I noted of this. And throughout the course of the game, I think he actually only goes to it maybe once or twice to where the running back will actually go to the other side of the field. Here you see I'm trying my damnedest to go ahead and get a stop. Here he goes and runs the ball. And I actually blitz the extra player, trying to stop the run, trying to stop the quick flat passes. And as soon as I start doing that, he's going to do something that I thought I had defended. Both of my safeties have the inside zone KO, the deep inside zone. And as you see, they hold right onto it. I don't know if that's gift wrapped or if my KOs just simply aren't animating. But I don't have time to bring down both of my safeties here. And you'll see throughout the course of this game, he just absolutely abuses that. And once again, it goes right back to the RPO. He did one thing very well in terms of offensively. He milked the clock basically every chance that he could. And it was something that I wasn't really prepared for going into this. I didn't think that people would be trying to milk like that. But basically how I played in my first game and how I played, later on in the tournament as well, everybody was milking clock. And it's just, I think overall, nobody really feels confident on defense. Here you see I'm going with the dollar blitz. This is the cover 2 press. Everybody knows this blitz for the most part. It's the A-gap and the seams. Once again, he's attacking me up the seams, and I thought I had this defended. You can see I have the deep zone KOs right there, and it just doesn't matter. Here, he goes ahead, gets a bit jiggy, and goes down. And this is kind of what I was talking about, right? With him diving on the ground, chewing the clock, he's playing very smart football. Because I've had one drive. He doesn't know how to stop me, clearly. And he's banking on the fact that I don't know how to stop him, which obviously, if you're watching this game right now, you'll see that I really can't. I felt going into this tournament very good against the meta formations, the gun bunches, not necessarily trips tight end, but like trips offset, basically anything that somebody would run on me from the Eagles playbook, which I really felt like would be super popular. I felt really good against that. I felt really good against tight slots, halfback weak, which once again I figured would be the offenses that I would face. And none of my opponents ran that, oddly enough. You see this one, he's in Kansas City's playbook, I believe. And there's a speed option. I knew it was coming. Tried to click on and just simply, whether it's old man stick or what, couldn't get the job done. He gets into the end zone, gives me 46 seconds to go. And here we are. I'm just trying to get points. Like, I feel like I'm in a good spot to where I can get points. I mean, you can see right away, like I'm just going to roll out, throw the little corner route. This is something that I abuse throughout my games. That little sharp corner, along with the corner strike out of the pistol bunch, I can abuse the corners on that because it's so short, right? So people setting their zone drops to 30s and 25s and 20s, like it gets underneath all of that. So people that go to that, they're not going to be able to stop it. And that's pretty much everybody's base. Now here you see I'm going to try to hit him up the seams. This is the PA boot play. And basically I'm looking at the tight end first. I see he's kind of guarded. I'm going to roll out looking to hit the X receiver. And that was, I might have been able to fit that in there, but I didn't really want to risk it. I didn't want to, risk a bad throw or an undercut of any sort, because the last thing I want to do is give him points, right? I haven't been able to stop him. I am kind of trying to play it safe, but also like knowing I need points out of this drive. So Here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run cross drag. This is another one of my bread and butter plays. I think my whole pistol scheme is probably only, I'd say maybe 10 different setups. Like it's really not a super complicated or complex scheme, but it's just overly effective. And here you see, like, I'm 3 for 3, 83 yards and a touchdown. I'm running the ball really well. And the biggest enemy for me at the moment is the clock. And that's going to come into play throughout my entire tournament run today, because people that can clock me and can force me to hold me to 3 in the red zone, that's ultimately going to be my downfall in this tournament. But as you can see, like, I have incredibly good passing plays that I can go to. Here he gets a well-timed knockout. That's the that he doesn't have deep inside zone KO, so that was just a drop by my receiver. So kind of frustrating that he's able to get that pass knocked out with no ability, and I have the ability and it didn't get knocked out. But here nor there, here we're going to go to the fake screen. This play I absolutely love because nobody ever expects that angle route, and it's just like wide open. It's a two-way read. Either I'm throwing the angle or I'm throwing the wheel. Now, the wheel right there would have been a touchdown. I actually missed it just looking back at the replay. I don't know what he did with his outside left corner, but he followed the streak. The angle route took the safety to the inside as well, and then that wheel was wide open. So I missed the read, but I do settle for 3 points here, and we're going to go into half with me getting the ball. And here I'm fully expecting to, go down the field, get 7 points, and take the lead in this game for the first time. Once again, we go to the run game. And as I mentioned, like, I feel like I can run on every single person I play. Doesn't matter what their abilities are. Doesn't matter what formation they're in. Now, if they are in dollar, I absolutely feel like I'm going to gash them. Like, just 100% going to kill dollar. And once again, I thought I would face a little bit more dollar, and I ultimately didn't. But as you can see, we do have perfect passing plays to, mix us up. My only incompletion up until this point was a drop. But, we're not exactly attacking super far downfield, but we're able to really force our opponent into situations to where we can counter what they're going to run. And we know this. So here he does go to dollar. I'm trying to pick up the blitz. So I pick up the blitz. I was looking for the running back wheel and the corner route were my first two reads right there. And both of them were actually guarded. So I dump it down to the flats. His user was not there in enough time to actually make a play on that. Pick up a couple yards. Kind of like I said, I want to keep this chain moving. I don't want to ever be in a fourth and long, a fifth and long, a fourth and long, or a third and long. Like, my offense is not really built to attack down the field like that. But I can almost always pick up that 8 to 10 yards. And I feel like I can pick that up extremely consistently. But if I ever get sacked and I'm in these positions where I've got to pick up, 20 yards over the course of one play, not really my style of an offense, the way that I've built this scheme. So here, I get a little bit jiggy in the open field with Bijan, and we get into the end zone, take the lead 17-14. And yeah, here we go. Once again, defense absolutely struggling. Here, I go ahead, get a nice little hit stick, and he holds onto it. Once again, my abilities are not knocking the ball out. His non-ability did knock the ball out, and that's frustrating. It really is frustrating because I know if I get one stop, I'm going to win this game. And it is just an absolute struggle for me right now. And it's not like he's running anything super complex, right? Like, I know what he's running. I just can't stop it. And that's a very frustrating part about Madden 24, in the sense that if somebody is good making reads and they are spamming RPOs, it is just a brutal thing to try to defend. Here, he ends up high pointing the angle route. My user absolutely lost in the sauce right there. You see, he's thrown one incomplete pass, 12 of 13 passing. I'm playing terrible, right? Like, I'm absolutely playing terrible defense. And there's just really not much more to say about it. Like, we are getting near the end of the third quarter here, and like, you can already tell this game's going down to the wire. Like, I can't stop him. He's chewing clock in the third quarter. We both are just hoping for a stop. There, you see set feet lead. I was literally trying to lurk that one spot in the field and couldn't get there with my user. He goes up 21-17. And yeah, we're back here. Now, I'm in a very interesting spot here because I can't milk the rest of this clock out. So for me, I need to score as quick as possible because the last thing I want to do is give him the ball back with, say, 3 minutes and let him milk the entire game. That's really what I am thinking in my head right here. So, I go with the run first just to make him respect it. I'm going to go back here to the pass because I know he's blitzing heavy. Now, right there, he kind of got cheated. But then again, so did I. That wheel route will cut to the inside every single time. Like, that's one of the main reasons why I'm in pistol. You can hike throw those wheel routes, and similar to a few years ago, they always break to the inside. So as long as I can click onto that, it's an easy completion, right? I have gift wrapped. If I click on, I know I'm catching the ball. I click on right there, and by me clicking onto that player, it actually pulled me behind his DB. Now, with that happening, I still feel like that was a very toss-up play. He does not have pick artist on that player. So had he had pick artist, that would have most likely been a pick. You could probably say he got cheated. But me knowing the offense, I also still feel like I got cheated on that same play. So I go ahead, break another big run, and take the lead, and it's the fourth quarter. So basically how this game has went, I've got a 3-point lead. I can tell right away I'm most likely not stopping him, but I can't let him milk this entire clock. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing aggressive. I'm going to spinner here. And what I'm looking to do at a spinner is I'm really looking for him to, if he's going to make a big play passing, I want him to pick up chunk yardage, right? So I'm kind of giving up those corner routes because I know that I can't afford to let him dink and dunk. Here, once again, he rolls out. I have to chase the angle route. He hits me with the zig underneath. That's exactly what I don't want to happen right there. So you can see clock's already ticking. He's not going to call a hike before that clock hits below 5 seconds. So I know right away in his mind, he wants this to be the last possession of the game. Once again, here I'm going to spinner, and I'll make adjustments at a spinner, but like I'm doing everything I can to either get a stop or to, give up a big chunk yards. And I know that's silly, but that was just my thought process in this game with the way that the game was going. I'm in man coverage. I'm shaded down. I want to be able to stop the RPO, and I want to be able to stop these underneath damn zig routes. And here he hits the corner route, exactly what I was expecting to kind of happen. Eventually, when he caught onto it, he would go to those corner routes, but that was important because he picked up a huge chunk of yards right there. So by him getting that many yards, he's in a position to where if he gets, any decent chunk of yards on the rest of this drive, then he's not going to be able to milk this out. So I know at some point I'm going to have to, use my timeouts here because I can't just let him, take the entire clock with him, which I know is his goal at this point. He wants ideally for this to be the last play of the game. But yeah, we're not really going to let that happen there. He tries to dive down underneath the first down. Luckily, we weren't anywhere near him, so he was able to pick up the first, even though he didn't want to. And at this point, it's a 2-minute warning. I still have all 3 of my timeouts, so he's kind of in that weird spot. Like, could he theoretically milk this out? Maybe. Like, it's just not something that's going to happen very easy, I guess. Because, like I said, any decent chunk of yards here, and it's a wrap. Or he's going to be, stuck in that no man's land where nobody really wants to be this year. And that's, inside that 5-yard line, basically. Here, 3 yards. That's a perfect situation for him. I burn my timeout. 2nd and 7, just under 2 minutes. I'm in that situation where I absolutely do not want him to pick up 3 yards and 3 yards over these next couple plays. He goes ahead, hits me with a little out route, picks up, 6 yards right there. 3rd and 1. I do not call my timeout because at this point, I'm either going to stop him and get a 4th and 1 or 4th and something, or he's going to go ahead and get in a position to where he can't milk out the clock. And that's really what my goal was there. And you see, I go to dime. I'm playing super aggressive for the inside run. He's going to go ahead, and right away I knew once he audibled out, he was running speed option. Couple jukes later, 1st and goal, and now I got to burn these timeouts, right? So I burn the timeout there. He's got 1:18. I've only got 1 timeout left, but he's in that position of the field to where he can't afford to play this super aggressive and 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard. Like, he can't do that. And he doesn't want to go to overtime, right? So he's not going to kick the field goal. Anyways, he runs the jet sweep and ultimately gives me 1:14 on the clock with a timeout. That is key. I do have 1 timeout. And here, I'm going to go to tight slots. I'm expecting a little bit of man coverage. I don't think he actually is in man on this play. No, you see he's back in his zone. We're going to throw underneath. Now, this drive ultimately was very sloppy for me because you see on the first play, I chuck it underneath. Second play, I don't know what happens. He gets edge pressure. I roll out, throw to my running back. I have now completed 2 passes. I have burned 50 seconds off the clock, and I've picked up 7 yards. Not ideal, right? I'm under 30 seconds, and I need a ton of yards because I can't settle for a field goal here. I've got to get a touchdown. So I start dialing up some of the plays to get me down the field a bit quicker. And there you see, there's one of them. We're down to 20 seconds. I am going to go to pistol tight slots here. Once again, this is a formation I go to a lot when I need big chunks of yards. And it is mainly because I have all these deep crossing routes. I do technically have a 1-play score out of here. And I have the ability to roll out and throw these corner routes. This one, nice little undercut right there, pass lead down into the sideline, undercut it. Had he not went for a pick right there, he has deep zone KO. He might have been able to knock that out had he not gone for a pick. But with him going for the pick, that allowed me to catch that ball and get out of bounds, which is key. Here, go to corner strike, absolute dime to the sideline. We get 1st and goal, 10 seconds left. And at this point, I'm still in passing territory, right? I have to pass. I can't run. And I'm going to go ahead and go to what is one of my bread and butter setups. And it is something that I've used throughout the course of this game to kind of keep him a bit honest. And you're going to see he's going to bring his safety down, expecting me to throw to the running back, leaves the crosser wide open for the touchdown on Seattle. Now, I've got 7 seconds left. You would think that, 7 seconds left, you should be good. No. The way I've played defense this game has been absolutely miserable. I have no faith, even at 7 seconds, that I'm going to get a stop, right? The last thing I want is for him to get out of bounds. So give up the angle route. He picks up a nice chunk of yards, but not enough to get into field goal range. And he's got 1 play left. I base everything out of this cover 4 drop. I am simply not willing to get beat deep here. And he goes to bunch strong nasty. No idea what he's calling. And you'll see, once again, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just going to blitz everybody. So I'm blitzing my corner, all my linebackers. And you see he blocks 1 person, has a really deep crosser, but I've got the KO ability out there and a deep zone. We go ahead and escape with a W, but that was a hellacious game of Madden and one that literally could have went either way that came down to the wire.